Good morning. Excellent live stream yesterday. If you want to attend a members only live stream, well, you'll have to become a member. Click on the link there. Sign up at the bottom. If you want to dip your toe in, get yourself some free Premier League research, then join the Trading Made Easy course. Name and email will get you some free Premier League research as well. Also get the link here. All of the links are in the description of this YouTube video. Don't forget to subscribe to the footballtradingprofits.com. youtube.com/@footballtradingprofits. What we're going to do today, look at some of the highlights of yesterday's live stream. So we started off yesterday with Cremonese against Cosenza. I'll take the volume off. What we did here, lay the draw. Why did we lay the draw? Well, you'll have had to attend the live stream to find out why we laid the draw with a degree of confidence, and you'll have to attend the live stream to know why I was so interested in a specific get out. So let's move this forward. We laid the draw and get in my DeLorean. Oh, we were off to Leipzig there. Let's get back to Cremonese. Just to save you some time, that is what happened after we laid that draw. Very, very nice return there. Delighted with that to start members off on the right foot. And there we have it live. £45 green screen. If you like a bit of that, then join up. Now this was unique to this weekend. Leipzig, 3-goal head start against Bochum. Why would I have laid Leipzig this particular weekend? I'll get to that a little later, but members will know, and those of you who watched the review preview video yesterday will know why Leipzig were layable. With only a £5 liability, look how much we made there. 38 quid. Ended up being £34.50. From 0-3 up to 3-3. This is the weekend you take on these kind of sites. And here we had the finalising of the Bochum Leipzig trade, locking in the profit. Off we go. Guarantee it, and Merry Christmas. We decided to get stuck in. Got very short odds. And I only did it with a £20 liability because I already took insurance out on the 0-0. You see Liverpool dominating. Here come the goals in the Premier League. 0-0's at half time, but still no goal yet for Liverpool. And there it came. The Liverpool profits, we were guaranteed a break even if nobody scored we were guaranteed to clean up if Liverpool get the goal, which they did. So an excellent live stream yesterday. If you're interested, take up the free trial offer. Most of these live streams will be members only, like yesterday's. And thanks to everybody who turned up, as you can see, and everybody who provided some additional nuggets of information. Bosun, for example, all 3 Premier League matches 0-0 at half time. Surely they're not going to end 0-0. Indeed, he was bang on the button. What we also had yesterday was that curse of the Champions League, which I've alluded to. Arsenal 2-0 lead against Champions League Villa. Let that one go. I think Lens did score first, didn't they, against Paris Saint-Germain? Or they equalised. No, they scored first. So do you trust a Champions League side at this weekend? Well, if you trusted that lot, well done. Rennes and Brest. Brest did score first. And they scored second. So they survived. Bayern Munich, 3-1 lead. Didn't look so comfortable. We took on Leipzig. Now you know why we took on Leipzig. Pre-Champions League. And also, you looked at their previous match. They've conceded 4 goals. They've conceded 2 goals, against Werder Bremen. Conceded 2 against Stuttgart. So, well worth taking on at very low odds, and that came in. Some of these Champions League sides did deliver. Some of them didn't. Atalanta losing. PSV Eindhoven, look at their odds. 1.19. Now you know why they lost yesterday. Maybe down to Luke de Jong missing a penalty, the absolute bleep. But they are vulnerable. Feyenoord in the Champions League, failing to win. Girona in the Champions League, losing. Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, losing. Barcelona in the Champions League, failing to win. No coincidence, is it? That's why we have to be ever so cautious. Had a loss, Salford and Fleetwood, but again, thank you to Stuart, who just alerted us to the new manager for Fleetwood. That may skew previous form. So had I known that before I placed the trade, I wouldn't have placed the trade. Salford coming off the back of, I think, 6 consecutive wins to 0. So did my due diligence, but you will likely lose money if you head down to League 1, League 2. Bolton did come from behind to get a 2-2 if you stuck with them. And if you stuck with Port Vale, would have been a bit of a roller coaster. 0-1 to 1-1, 1-2 to 2-2, 2-2 to 3-2. They got there in the end, 1.48 Port Vale, but it's that Fleetwood loss which just put a dampener on my enthusiasm for these lower tier leagues. Let's have a look on to today, and you know all about new manager syndrome now today, don't you? With that Fleetwood loss. New manager for Everton. Got to be very careful. David Moyes could instill some change. Got a 1-0 loss in his first match. So in that regard, they're very, very boring football-wise. You can't say that about old Ange, can you? Blood and thunder from the Spuds. But it's all over the shop. He's on his way out, I think. Managing Celtic, where you're going to finish in the top 2 against a bunch of really poor sides. Not the same as managing a Premier League team, is it? Man United against Brighton, well, they needed Amad Diallo to get them out of jail against Southampton in what was a very poor display at home. This lot are a lot more accomplished. That is laughably low. I wouldn't be touching that with a barge pole. Nottingham Forest against Saints. Going to be fascinating to see if Forest can continue their winning streak. You'd suspect that they can. Southampton, though, did put in a very good fist of it against Man United, didn't they? But Nottingham Forest, purring at the moment. But only scored that single goal in a couple of matches, you'll note. And that 1-0 against Ipswich. You might see that performance against Southampton today. Head-to-head, 4-3. I think they're a lot tighter now, aren't they, Nottingham Forest? Saints are going down along with Leicester, you'd think. Ipswich, likely to be defensively sound. Pep Guardiola coming off the back of a divorce, for because he's too focused on Man City. Ipswich, failure to score. Did score 2 against Chelsea. Failure to score, though, against the big sides. You'll probably see this in the challenge table. Looks about right, doesn't it? But this is pre-Champions League away from home. I've just shown you how many sides have lost. Big names as well. Atletico Madrid, for example. So watch out. This is the time to get Man City. French League, 2.55 the favourite. Doesn't make any great appeal. Le Havre just having a woeful season at the moment. They are looking like a newly promoted side of a couple of seasons ago. Having a real wobble. That looks about right. Marseille and Strasbourg. Don't forget to check if Marseille are in the Champions League. Highly likely it'll be a Wednesday kickoff for them. If they're involved. I don't think they are. We just had Lille and we had Brest and we had Monaco. I don't think Marseille are involved. They certainly wouldn't be playing on a Tuesday if they're playing on a Sunday. Yeah, Monaco there and Lille there. So Marseille, another way to check if there's upcoming European fixtures is to head on over to today. Scroll down, check out Marseille and their upcoming fixtures in all competitions. And it looks like they've got a Côte d'Azur derby coming up against Nice. So they're not involved in Europe, Marseille. So no excuses today against Strasbourg. Union Berlin and Mainz, much of a muchness this one. Werder Bremen and Augsburg. A couple of goals scored against Leipzig. Werder Bremen might fancy their chances here. Serie A, Fiorentina playing the 0-0 snore draw Itis Torino. Going to be packing that defence. Fiorentina, an opportunity to get back to the winning ways of late 2024. It's all gone a little bit pear-shaped, but prior to the 12th of December, it was win-win-win all the way down here. But the wheels are coming off a little bit. Yes, they played Napoli, Juventus, fair enough. Victoria Guimaraes in the is this a Champions League? Conference League, yeah. Bologna, they weren't expected to win that one. So, arguably, they've had a really poor run, but they shouldn't be losing against the likes of Monza. Torino, for their sins, well, the 2-2 there is a very, very rare event. That was a Turin derby, but normally it's these 1-0s or 0-0s snorefests. Cagliari and Lecce, well, why don't we have a look at one of these matches? They don't look very readable on paper, but let's have a quick look at Cagliari and Lecce at Soccer Stats. Not making any great appeal at all. I can't give you any angles without researching. I've done all the research for members, so they can read that for themselves at their leisure. But let's have a look at Cagliari and Lecce. Any angles in there? Moving on down. And we've got 4 wins all season, but unbeaten in 2 for Cagliari, including a 1-1 against AC Milan. But a 3-0 loss to Inter Milan and a loss to Atalanta. They've had a tough run of it at home of late, haven't they? Playing AC Milan here. Playing Atalanta and Inter Milan there. Ooh, boy. Only 3 defeats for Lecce recently, coming against the 2 Roman sides and old Pericomo. So they will be fancying their chances. But it's all revealed in the challenge table, where these two are relative to each other. Relegation dogfight for Cagliari. But notice Lecce. Only the 1 defeat against 11th and lower. They'll be fancying their chances, but you cannot discount relegation dogfight sides at this stage of the season with time running out. Doesn't make any great appeal on paper, to be honest with you. 1.92 for Cagliari. Can they get the 3 points that they need? Parma and Venezia, newly promoted Venezia, could be vulnerable. And indeed, Parma newly promoted as well. So these two will be eyeing 3 points. Lazio should really get something against Verona, but Verona have had a recent spate Look at those underpants there, fantastic. I thought they had a 0-0 recently against Udinese, yeah, and then they failed to score against Napoli, failed to score against AC Milan. But this is a slight drop. Lazio are not quite up there just yet. So they might be fancying their chances, but they have trouble in front of goal. Verona, they might be liable if leading. Inter Milan against Empoli, can't put a foot wrong, really. They've got a game in hand at the top. 2 games in hand. And they must win them to catch up with Napoli. A poor draw against Bologna recently, letting a goal slip late. Very poor. That could cost them the title. But 2 games in hand, add 6 points to that, and they will go top on goal difference. So this is a must win for Inter. That's how I'll be entering that match this afternoon or this evening. In the Dutch Eredivisie, well, it's a chance for Ajax to take advantage of the fact, and Twente to take advantage of the fact that PSV dropping points yesterday. So be looking for a good performance, but watch out for Ajax. Do they have any upcoming European engagements? Because they are the type of side who would, wouldn't they? We can find out here. Ajax Europa League on the 23rd. So they could be vulnerable today. Got to check in this pre-European weekend. How many times have I shown you losing sides who don't tend to lose ordinarily? Atletico Bilbao, again, do they have upcoming European fixtures? Let's have a look. They're kind of side who would have, wouldn't they? They're a pretty solid unit. Atletico Bilbao. Playing Europa League against Besiktas on the 22nd. So again, could be vulnerable. They are away from home as well, and the market's not too hot. Real Madrid, I wouldn't take that for granted either. It looks like a softball, pre-Champions League softball for them. But look at Atletico Madrid losing 1-0 yesterday. Barcelona drawing 1-1 yesterday. Real Madrid, highly likely to be in the Champions League, aren't they? It's that curse. You'd be better off laying these sides. Champions League against Red Bull Salzburg coming up. So this is the time these sides could be gettable. Those are the major matches. Today, I'll be doing a live stream, I would suggest probably at 2 o'clock. But as ever on a Sunday, it's just not as hectic as a Saturday. We've got a smaller pool of matches to work off. So you might not get the volume of trades. And we've got that Champions League tightrope to walk as well. Saturday, we made some really good dough. A few more leagues can just improve the coupon standing. Belgian Jupiler League. Leeds United carry on their merry way at home to Sheffield Wednesday. They've been an excellent side to trade, particularly an excellent side with late goals. Sheffield Wednesday, where are they? 10th place. So they could break into the top, into the 40-point mark with a win today. Leeds go top with a win, with a game in hand. Huge motivating factor. 2 consecutive draws. They've been very, very poor. Late goals. 1-0 lead against Blackburn. Comfortable lead against Hull. They've got to stop this rot, conceding late goals. Watch out for them today. Big guns are out in the Greek Super League. Olympiakos, PAOK Thessaloniki. This is a local derby, hence the odds. But I do like Oli and PAOK, but got to check for European football. Remember this lot. I think we're involved in the Conference League final, weren't they? In Greece. One of the absolute standout sides this season has been Sassuolo in Italian Serie B. Coming from behind, second half goals. Really solid. Turning draws into wins. Well worth following at 2 o'clock, part of the live stream. Just been an excellent trading side. Ordinarily, they have thrown in the odd wobbler, but just been brilliant. Second half goals, as I say, conceding first, going on and winning. They are going back up into Serie A. Stick them on your notebook at 2 o'clock. We've got 4 out of 5 odds-on favourites in La Liga 2, which is worth following. And I will do the research in play. But we're only likely to be having this Racing Santander during the live stream. So if you like seeing profits like this, and like this, not to mention the profit on the Liverpool match as well come along. Free trial offer at footballtradingprofits.com. Release sign up for the Premier League research, which I'll be forwarding today. I will see members for a members only live stream, if it's as good as yesterday's, and with some excellent feedback from members to help us out, particularly watching out for new managers. That's also a problem. So come along. I'll be seeing members from 2 o'clock onwards, and I'll be doing Telegram as well for members only. Have a great and profitable Sunday, and watch out for the curse of the Champions League.